This video tutorial looks at the mathematical strand of linear and non-linear relationships, and more specifically we're going to focus on graphing solutions to simultaneous equations. So the first thing we need to do is we need to understand how to actually graph equations, and that'll help us to solve simultaneous equations using a graph. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create a table where we are minus 3 to 3, okay, along the x, so minus 3 to 3, and we create a table for both of our equations. You can see I've got both equations here. This is going to help us to determine some coordinates that we need to plot on our graph. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to substitute our x value, in this case minus 3, into our equation. And we'll know that if we substitute our x into our equation, alright, then our y value is going to equal 3 lots of minus 3, which is going to equal minus 9. So therefore, we can put minus 9 here. We're going to do the same for the rest of our spots on our table. So we'd end up with minus 6, we'd end up with minus 3, 0, 3, 6, and 9. We're now going to do the exact same thing for our second table, right? And we end up with y equaling minus 2 lots of minus 3 plus 5. This becomes 6 plus 5, which gives us 11. We're again now going to do the exact same thing. This one here would be minus 2 times minus 2, which is 4, plus 5 is 9. This would be 7. This would be 5. This would be minus 2 times 1, which is minus 2, plus 5 is 3, minus 2 times minus 2, times 2, which is 4, plus 5 is 1, and then this would be minus 1. And now you can see that we have our first pair that we can plot. Minus 3, 9 is going to be the first pair we're going to plot from this graph. Minus 2, 6 is our next one. Oops, minus 1, minus 3 is our next one, and so on and so on. And you would see that our first point that we're going to plot here is minus 3, 11, minus 2, 9, etc., along here. And what we would do is we'd plot those points, we'd connect the lines, and we'd see where the lines meet. And where they meet are the values for y and x. So let's look at an example now of what we just went through. You can see that I've got two equations here. One of them is here. The other one is here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create the tables, fill in the tables, plot the lines, and see where they cross. So in our first table, if I'm going to substitute minus 3 into this equation, the first thing I want to do is I want to rearrange the equation. So I'm going to end up with y equaling 8 take 4x, because all I've done is I've taken 4x from both sides. While I'm at it, I might rearrange the second equation, and I'll end up with minus 3y equals 18 minus 2x, and therefore I'm going to divide both sides by minus 3, divide by minus 3. I'm going to end up with y equaling 18 take 2x over minus 3. Now I'm going to substitute my values in. Okay, with this first equation, I'm going to end up with 8 take 4 lots of minus 3, which becomes plus, so 8 plus 12, which is 20. Then this is going to end up with 16. This is going to end up with 12. This is going to end up with 8. This is going to be 4. This is going to be 0. And this is going to be minus 4. So they're my points that I've plotted in my second table. Okay, now I've just worked those out in my head, but you can work them out solving equations. In my second table, I'm going to go minus 3 times minus 2 is 6. 18 plus 6 is 24. 24 divided by minus 3 is minus 8. Negative 2 times Negative 2 is plus 4, so that's 18. Plus 4 is 22. 22 divided by minus 3 is going to be minus 7.3. Negative 1, so that becomes 20 divided by 3, which is going to be minus 6.6. And then 0 is going to be minus 6. If I put that 1 there, it's going to be 16 divided by 3, which is minus 5.3. 2 is going to be 14 divided by 3, which is minus 4.6. And then 12 divided by minus 3 is minus 4. So there are my points. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot these points. So my first one is minus 3, minus 20, which is going to actually be well off the page down here. My next one is minus 2, 16, minus 2, minus 3, 20 is up here somewhere. Okay, minus 2, 16, I can't actually put on the grid either, grid's not big enough, but I can do 0, 8, I can do 1, 4, I can do 2, 0, and 3, minus 4. And if I kept going, I would end up with something that looks like this. So here's my line. Now I need to see where these ones will cross. So minus 3, minus 8 is the first point I'm going to plot. Minus 3, minus 8 is here. Minus 2, minus 7.3, which is there. Let's go 0, minus 6, 3, minus 4. Oh, there we go. So if we put the line through there, we can see here that this line and the green line actually cross at minus 3, minus 4. So therefore we can say our solution to this is x equals 3 and y equals minus 4, because that is where the two lines cross. Okay, so here are some practice questions I'd like you to have a go at. Once you think you've got your solutions, continue to the next slide and we'll see how you went. Okay, let's see how you went. First thing I want to do is I want to plot the first equation in this first table here. So we've got the equation of y equals 2x take 4, and I want to plot that on this table. So I want to put that on this table here by substituting the x value in where the x is and then getting my answer. So my first answer is going to be minus 10, because minus 3 times 2 is minus 6, take 4 is minus 10. The next answer is going to be minus 8, then I'm going to have minus 6, then I'm going to have minus 4, then I'm going to have minus 2, 0, and then I'm going to have 2. Okay, and they're going to be my answers. My second part I'm going to do is I'm going to plot the second equation. So that was 2x plus 3y equals 12. I'm going to rearrange this, and I'm going to go 3y equals 12 take 2x, because all I've done is I've moved that to the other side. And I'm now going to end up with 3y equaling 12 take 2x, or sorry, y equaling 12 take 2x over 3. And again, I'm now going to plot this equation in here. Negative 3 times negative 2 is actually 6. 12 plus 6 is 18. Divided by 3 gives me 6. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. So 16 divided by 3, 5.3. Negative 1 times negative 2 is 2. Plus 12 is 14. Divided by 3 is 4.6. Then I'm going to end up with 4. And it looks like we're going down by 0.666 each time. Okay, so the next one should be 3.3. Then we've got 8 divided by 3, which is 2.6. And 6 divided by 3, which is 2. Now, just by looking at these tables, I can actually see that my answer is going to be 3, 2. But I'm going to plot it anyway, just to show you what I mean. So the first point I'm going to plot is minus 3 minus 10. So minus 3 minus 10 is down here. Minus 2 minus 8 minus 1 minus 6. 0 minus 4. 1 minus 2. 2, 0. And 3, 2. So there's my, whoops, there's my line with my red. Okay, now I'm going to put the green. So we got minus 3, 6, 0, 4. I'll do that because I know it's exactly on the line. And 3, 2. So it looks like this line is going this way. And I can see that right here is where the lines cross. And that means that I have a solution of x equaling 3 and y equaling 2. And that's your answer.